All right, so I've been hearing some comments lately that the only thing I believe in is building muscle, and the only thing I believe in is resistance training. There's a reason why I promote resistance training and muscle building so much, and I want to get into that in today's video. Alright guys, so as I mentioned in the intro, I've been hearing some things like, Adam only believes in muscle building, Adam only believes in resistance training. Yes, this is true, but there's a reason, there's a reason I believe in it so much, and that's because it's going to benefit you guys in multiple different aspects of your health and wellness, and in your life as well. It allows, more freedom and flexibility. You won't get hurt as much. There are tons of different reasons, but today I wanted to go through 3 of them. So the first reason that I believe in building muscle so much is because, well, first of all, hold on, I want to address something. I'm not talking about muscle like bodybuilder muscle, like, can't hear because his ears are covered by his traps and can't wipe his own butt crack. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that kind of muscle. I'm just talking about getting a little bit of lean muscle tissue, looking toned and defined and sculpted. That's all I'm talking about, okay? Fully functional. You can wipe your own butt crack, totally fine. That's what I'm talking about today. Where was I? Oh, first reason is just injury prevention. If you have, let's take your spine for example. If you have strong obliques, strong abs, strong transverse abs, strong lower back, strong glutes, if that whole core is tight, your spine is going to be much more, supported and stable, and it's going to prevent you from having injury. If you look at elderly people, even for example, the reason that sure, their bones aren't as strong as they used to be, but one of the reasons they get hurt so often is because they don't have the strength and the stability to support themselves, which causes them to fall and then break their hip or something like that. So muscle is going to be something that prevents you from getting injured more than almost anything else out there. Another reason I love muscle so much is because it's going to give you more freedom and flexibility with your nutrition. The more lean muscle tissue that you have, the more calories that you're going to burn at rest. So that's just going to give you a bigger caloric budget. If you looked at calories like money, it's just going to make you richer. Okay, if you burn 3,000 calories in a day automatically, that's a little bit of a stretch. If you're the average human and you have a decent amount of muscle, let's say you burn 2,500 calories in a day at rest doing nothing. Can you imagine the choices that you'd be able to make without feeling too restricted as far as food goes? You wouldn't feel like, oh, I'm over whatever, 1,100 calories in the day, now I'm gonna gain body fat. You'd have so much more freedom. You'd be able to do more things, just like if you were more wealthy. If you had more money, you'd be able to, go have more fun, do more things, spend a little bit more, go a little bit more crazy with your financial decisions. Same thing when it comes to food. Now, I'm not saying that because you have, a higher caloric budget due to your muscle mass that you can just eat a bunch of crap all the time. That's not good for your internal health. But it is gonna allow you to have more freedom and flexibility in the choices that you make. You won't have to feel restricted when you go out to eat with your friends. You won't have to feel like you have to eat like a bird. You can actually enjoy the foods that you want to eat. It's just gonna bring that freedom and flexibility. It's gonna allow you to burn more calories at rest. Now, bouncing off of that, another piece of why I like the muscle so much is because it's just going to allow you to burn more with less work. Like I just said, more calories burned at rest. So that means you won't have to, not only nutritionally, but you won't have to rely on a ton of exercise in order to maintain your weight. I see this happen with a lot of people going to a lot of boot camp classes, doing a lot of high intensity training, running for hours every single day. Their body is now used to that demand for that exercise, and so when they go on vacation, they take a week off, they gain 10 pounds of body fat, which is not a good scenario. Ideally, if we want to have a sustainable and enjoyable life, we want to make sure we have a lot of muscle on us. That way we can burn a lot of calories at rest, and we don't feel like we have to work out 50 million times while we're on vacation. We can do some light resistance training for a couple days in the week, and then maintain our weight, maintain our physique while we enjoy the foods and drinks that we love. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds great to me. I don't want to be running on a freaking treadmill for an hour a day just to maintain my body weight. That sounds miserable. So far, reason 1, injury prevention. Reason 2 is going to be just a higher caloric budget. So it's going to help you with your exercise and your nutrition, just bringing more freedom and flexibility into that. And then third, the last thing, it's a little more superficial, but it's realistic. When we all want that toned and defined look. When it comes to guys, we want the abs. When it comes to ladies, we just want to look toned, defined, slim. Believe it or not, most of that look comes from muscle. Sure, it comes from lower body fat percentages, of course, I'm not going to deny that. But if you have thicker, more dense muscle underneath that body fat, it's going to show a little bit more. You'll see cases where people gain a little bit of muscle mass and lose a little bit of body fat, but they look completely different. Their body composition has completely changed because they can see more of that muscle even at high percent body fat. I see this a lot with guys, for example, when they're trying to get a six-pack. They try to lose as much body fat as they possibly can, but they're not focusing on building their ab wall and making it thicker and thicker. They're just focused on losing body fat, and their abs are just going to stay, the same density. They're not going to get thick. The goal would be to make them as thick as possible so that they're more visible at higher body fat percentages. That way you don't have to get to 3% body fat to have a six-pack, because that's not sustainable either. So the more muscle tissue you have, the more toned, defined, and just dense and clean and cut that you're going to look. You're going to have a better physique when you have more muscle. And again, that's not massive bodybuilder, Mr. and Mrs. Olympia type of thing. That's just, gaining a little bit of muscle, maybe like 2 to 5 pounds, whatever that looks like for you depending on your exercise history. Just gaining some lean muscle tissue will help a lot. You don't need to gain 40. Just gain a few pounds and see what happens, and then add if you want to, or don't. But those are the 3 reasons that I'm so into building muscle, and it's not just for looks. There's so many pieces to it. The injury prevention, okay? When you're older, the reason you're going to be falling is because you're weak, not because your bones are freaking fragile, okay? So we want to be strong, we want to be stable to prevent injury, and then we want to have more freedom and flexibility in our lives, a higher caloric budget. And then the last thing is just going to be a little more superficial, but just looking better. If you have more lean muscle tissue, you're just going to look better all around. You won't have to be, you'll look great at 15% body fat instead of looking great at 5%. 15% body fat is just going to be much more sustainable over the course of your life than 5% is. Okay, so those are 3 reasons. There are a lot, but those are 3 reasons that I really love the concept of building muscle, and why I believe it's so important for all of us to incorporate that into our routine, whether it's with resistance training, a caloric surplus, eating more food, whatever that looks like. I think it's extremely important that we work on building muscle at some point in our lives. So if you have any questions whatsoever on building muscle, what that looks like as far as the resistance training plan goes, as far as eating goes, feel free to shoot me any questions that you have. Instagram, Facebook, website, shoot me an email, adam@poehlmannfitness.com. Whatever else, I don't know what else is out there. You guys don't have my phone number. But anyway, send me a message. Let me know however I can help. I'm here to help you guys. The reason I do these videos because I love them and I want to hear from you guys and I'd like to help. So don't feel bashful, don't be shy. Just holler at me with any questions you might have and I'd be happy to help you guys out. Other than that, thank you so much for the continued love and support and for watching all these videos. I love you guys so much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video.